And good evening, everybody, and welcome back to FPRL. Tonight we are round 6 of season 9. It is the tier 2's time to bring you back round the Temple of Speed, also known as Monza. In the comms box tonight, again, is myself, Crosscreek1888, joined by Ollie. How are we tonight, Ollie?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you, mate. Happy to be back after last week, which was obviously our sprint weekend, which was very fun to watch. So I'm happy to be back, and hopefully these guys can put on another good show.
Yeah, of course. Last week, as Ollie has said, we had a sprint weekend. Late safety car caused a lot of carnage in the last couple of laps of our feature race then. Split strategy kind of worked out for Monkey Boy Kurt. He decided to stay out, get the win. His boys, I think it was basically 5 boys stayed out. The rest inside the pit just did not work out for them. So Monkey took the win out that one last week. Can he repeat it this week? We'll soon see. But out on track already, we have Diamond Douchey. He is always going to be the first out on track. He just wants to get that screen time, so we will give it to him yet again for another week in a row. Obviously, you've seen first week last week, Ollie. There was a few standout competitors. Is there anyone you think maybe this week could be someone who was under the radar last week? You might want to see do better this week.
Um, it's hard to say really, because obviously only my first time commentating on these guys last week. I saw obviously a mix of drivers up at the front. Um, so I'll be keeping an eye out for obviously Monkey Boy. I'll take keeping an eye out for Cruiser as well. Obviously, he put in an absolute phenomenal lap around Portugal. Take pole, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, the two Ferraris. This is technically their home race, so they'll be ones to watch out for. And yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, hopefully should be a good one. As we've got Diamond Dishy is the first person to start a lap. Steele is following him just a couple of seconds down the road.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on Steele. He was one of our tier 1 drivers last season. As we actually see a bit of a lock up, and well, I say lock up after the newest update of the game. Any touch of the brakes does bring up the smoke, so he is away from the first chicane round the Curva Grande, coming up towards the second chicane. We'll get our first sector split, 26.5. So it's not a bad first sector for him. It's actually pretty nice through the chicane to the first of the two Lesmos. Gets the car turned in on the exit. Plenty of room to use for if he wanted. Now we get down towards the run down to Ascari, the first of the DRS zones that we do have on this track. On a slightly long run down to Ascari, could be seeing some moves being made tonight. It's all about now getting that car turned in, rotated, just waiting to get on the throttle, but he does pick up the throttle pretty well on the long run now to the Parabolica. That's a little bit of battery to use left for the exit, as Diamond Douchey sets a 120.9 as a first banker lap. How does Steele do? Should be seeing a slight improvement on that as he gets out of the Parabolica. It is going to be a 120.5, so we're already in the mid 20s from Steele. Down through the field,
Yeah.
obviously it's Noah has been one of the guys, and I
Oh
say
wow.
that. Yeah, Noah just doing Noah things, it looks like.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, will we see him in the 19s? And yes, we will. As Noah puts that in. Oh my word. Nearly a second quicker than Steele. We're only a couple of minutes into qualifying, but that's going to take some beating. Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of, we're looking down this grid, there's probably only a couple of drivers that might be able to get anywhere near that on their banker lap. One of them is Collateral Lads, who is starting his first lap. But yeah, 119.5 banker lap, probably we could see maybe Noah get into the 118s. That could be a possibility, do you think?
I I wouldn't say it's impossible. I mean, it's going to be hard to find 5 tenths on what is already a very, very good lap. But if anyone can, Noah can.
Yeah, it's definitely looks like he's the one to beat the rest of the pack for to be chasing. So we keep an eye on board with ads as he gets through the second sector split. There's a couple of tenths up on Steele through the first sector. The second sector, it's a 52.7. He will get a slight slipstream from the Mercedes and the McLaren in front, which will help him down towards the run to Parabolica. Doesn't have that much battery left to use though, so he could be losing a bit of time on the exit. You do see the blinking light on the back. How does he pick up the throttle? He does run out slightly wide, but that will allow him to get on the throttle that little bit earlier. Gets the run down with the slipstream. It's going to be a 19.8. So he's just a couple of tenths behind, but I say that three drivers in the 19.8s, and two of them are the McLarens of Fishsticks and Biddle. So they're still showing the strong pace that they showed last week. Who else do we have? Run on board with TJ. I know it's kind of your second week, Ollie, but TJ's pretty notorious for not being a strong qualifier, but a lot better in the race. So see how he does here. Yeah, he's kind of sticking to that there with the 20.7 for now. Both Williams guys, P11 and P12 at the minute. See who we got that might be setting up a lap.
Yorkie is just coming to finish his lap now. He's just going down the final straight before the Parabolica.
Right on board with Yorkie then as he exits the Parabolica. Bit of battery to use, so he should be okay to the line. It's going to be a 1:22.4, so puts him bottom of the runners for now. So he must have had a slight mistake to be 2 seconds off the pace. Lexus, we'll keep an eye on him. He's around the first half of his out lap. Is there anybody else fully on a lap? Liam, he's just under 10th down. Maybe he can find a little bit. He is keeping it on hot lap, so he might finish this lap. As he comes around the exit of the Parabolica, foot to the floor, can he replicate something like his teammate did? No, he decides to call that one. Into the box he'll go.
Oh, as the two V-Cubs working very, very nicely together down towards the Scari. Lexus giving Brett the mega slipstream. So we'll see what Brett can do. Currently sits on 20.2. So with that, he might be able to jump up a bit higher. We'll see as he comes around the final corner now. He's got a rear flashing light though, so he is out of deployment. So it might not be as good as he's hoped. As 1.4 tenths down.
He's going to be giving his teammate an absolute mega slipstream, and as he's doing that, do you want to take us around this lap with Lexus in the RB?
Alright then. As he navigates that first challenging chicane, as we will probably see on the first lap, probably some contact, as he's now going to swing it down this flat out right hander, as he's now going to prepare for the heavy braking zone of turn 3, turn 4 even. It's the apex nicely on the first part and on the second, mounts the curb a little bit, but wouldn't lose him too much time. Apparently he's gone purple in sector 1 as he goes into Lesmo number 1, runs out a bit wide there, that's absolutely fine. It's a 2, very nicely done indeed, as he's going to open DRS now, going down, I can't remember the name of the straight, but he's going to come up to probably the most challenging corner on the circuit, Ascari. Swings it left, and back to the right, and then back to the left again, and now we're going to go for a little bit of a straight, and we're going to get to the final corner of Parabolica. Been a pretty good lap so far for Lexus. Can he finish it off with a good run around Parabolica as he swings it right now? It's very good indeed. It's going to come up to the line. How will this go for him? It's P6, just as of his teammate.
Yeah, just over a tenth, splitting them. So it looks like maybe that slipstream from Brad has helped his teammate just jump ahead for now, and especially being round 6. These teammate battles, you know, just over halfway through in the season. Don't obviously want to be giving your teammate too much of an advantage, and it looks like Brad has maybe just done that so far for qualifying. But we do have Biddle just set up for his second run. Obviously he's sitting P2 at the minute, a couple of tenths in behind to find on Noah. So we will get that first sector split right now. So looking to be at least a tenth up or so. Let's say that he's a tenth down as we come into the second chicane of turn 4 and turn 5. Bit better of an exit though through towards the two Lesmos. First one runs out slightly wide, but should be okay.
Silverside boy comes up to the line now. This looks like it's going to be a pretty good lap. It is only 4 thousandths behind the pole man of Noah. That was a great lap by Silver.
Yeah, and especially after what's been said today in the league by this man Biddle about Silverside Boy. It is basically his 3-year anniversary in the league. He's raced 7 seasons, still without a win. And I don't want to put a jinx on him too early tonight, but at that kind of pace, maybe we could finally see that one. But we stay on board with Biddle towards the end of this lap. It is going to be quick, and it's going to be the quickest at 19.365, so 2/10 on Noah for him to reply on.
It's a 10th up. Here he comes. Across the line now. Ooh. Does improve, but only by 70 hundredths of a second. So not enough to beat the McLaren so far. So he's still got some time to find, but yeah, good lap from Biddle. Puts him comfortably at the top for now. But there's still going to be one more run left for all of our drivers to try and maximise their potential out of these cars. So Biddle, I'd say he's in a very good position on the 19.3 at the moment, as you have Noah on a 19.4, Silver on a 19.5, and then the next gap down, as I say that, still goes to a 19.6, and ruins what I was about to talk about. So we'll scrap that. But yeah, the McLaren looking very, 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 very nice so far.
Yeah, to be fair to Biddle, he's really come on form these last couple of rounds. He's really starting to show his true pace of what he used to have. Last couple of seasons, he's maybe fallen off a little bit to where he thought he could have been, but definitely found some rejuvenance while being in that McLaren, and it looks like his teammates kind of found that as well. So he's 5/10 down. You know, he's still up there in the middle of this tier 2 field, which he'll be definitely happy about. TJ, he's got up to P8 down at the back of the field. One of the Ferraris of Dynamo Dan, obviously the home race. One's in the pits at P17. The other one is setting up for a lap. No, he's not. He's coming into the pits. So we're going to go towards them kind of final laps now. Just over 5 minutes on the clock. Anybody is improving? Doesn't really look like it. Do we have Radical? Is he improving? He will get a slipstream though from the Williams. It's either TJ or Steele. Probably going to be TJ. Coming around the last corner, he's well off the pace. So yeah, he is into the box as well. So we have got that quiet period now of 5 minutes on the clock. Biddle is somehow actually going for another lap. He is on a hot lap and using overtake, so he must be improving.
He's about a 10th down, I'm pretty sure, looking at that Sector 2 split, but so I'll be surprised if he just comes into the pits now. The light is flashing on in the back of that McLaren. Will he finish this lap? He will not.
No. So it is all down to Yorkie, who's invalidated, and a 10th down. So you're looking, anyone really shocking you at the minute where they are, pace-wise? Obviously we have Cruiser at the back, hadn't set a time just yet. But apart from that, anybody else?
I'd say Monkey at the moment. You know, the guy who won last week, currently sitting at P14. So it's not the best position for him to be in. Obviously, around here, if you're in the DRS train, overtaking can be very, 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 very tough. Unless you're brave enough to go for a move into one of the tight corners, which sometimes it doesn't work out and you completely ruin someone's race, which you don't really want to happen. So you kind of really need to. I mean, Monkey, I feel like he's going to definitely have to improve because I don't think you'd really want to be in P14 with how close these guys are as well. So yeah, I'd say Monkey. I'll be looking for one to improve as Cruiser. Very, very fast person. Obviously, I think took pole last week. In Portugal, I believe. It was him or Dynamo. Can't remember. I think it was Cruiser. As he's actually going to start his first lap of the session. Only 3 minutes left, so he's going to get this lap, and that'll be it, I'm pretty sure. So if he's fueled for only one run, then yeah, he needs to make this count now.
Yeah, and Sen making it count. Maybe a bit sloppy through turn 1 and turn 2. The car just bouncing towards the second part of the apex. Gets on the
Oh,
car and he's backed
backed
out of
out.
it. Yep.
So if he's not fueled for 2 runs, then Cruiser will be starting last. So by the fact he's backed out, I'm guessing he will be fueled. So
Oh, one person we do have starting a lap is our P3 man of Silverside Boy, who in the chat doesn't even know where that lap times come from. So we'll see, can he make any improvements on it coming through turn 1 and turn 2 as Yorkie decides to call it a day on qualifying with just over 2 minutes to go. So Gary pretty clean actually through turn 1 and turn 2. Just get through, see if he is up on his first sector. A little burst of overtake. He does have a bit of traffic to deal with maybe in front. Hopefully they do get out of the way. But was that him literally identical it looked like through the first sector?
yeah, you 60 hundreds up on his current benchmark of a 19.570. So at the moment it would put him. So he's P3 at the moment. But he's got 3 cars ahead of him that are all going to give him a mega slipstream. But I don't know that they're going to get out of the way for Ascari. This is going to ruin it for him. No! Oh.
And that was
I don't know who that was. I think that was
Biddle.
Biddle.
Just caught daydreaming. Gary will be fuming with that one now. He can't do anything. His battery is nothing, so he's going to try to actually send it down the inside, and he gives Biddle a little wiggle. Let him know, I was behind. You just didn't want to get out of the way.
As Cruiser has put in a 150.4. What a lap.
Absolute rapid times from the Scotsman, showing exactly why he is tier 2 pace.
They call him the Flying Scotsman for a reason, as Silverside is pitted. So that's Silverside P3. All because someone was sleeping. So that's so unfortunate for Silverside there.
I'll tell you something, Noah has no battery left and he's invalidated his lap, so he's out of this one. So is there anyone like Ads or Fish Sticks we need to keep an eye on?
Ads is a 10th up. Yeah, Ads a 10th up in the first sector. And he's got his teammate directly ahead of him. This is going to give him a mega slipstream going down the second DRS zone.
So he
So
right
he
on
has his
board
teammate.
then.
Yep, his teammate opens DRS to maximise the speed. So he doesn't actually. Oh, he doesn't get out of the way. This is going to hurt Ads quite a bit here with the dirty air. Oh, he gets sideways. Oh god. Not very good coordination by the Haas pair of Radical and Ads. Radical actually is already on a lap. Radical 12 thousandths up on his time. So the two Haas actually in sync as they come across the line. Will it be an improvement for either of them? Radical's to 10th, Ads to 4th. So it is an improvement by both. So not too bad. As Biddle improves by 2.5 tenths nearly. Dare I say, he's. I just feel bad for Silver.
Yeah. It's just, especially with Biddle getting pulled, maybe Gary thought, that was one for
Has
the
Noah
taking.
still not? Oh, never mind. He's backed up. Okay.
Yeah,
Is Steele on a lap? Steele is a 10th.5 down, so Steele's out. Mongo has invalidated. TJM is a 10th down. Liam's done. Lexus is 6 seconds down. Monkey Boy is 2/10ths down. He's currently last out of the guys that have set a time. Can he elevate himself from the back row of the grid?
Well,
Here he
it's
comes.
his only chance. Does he? Just has
Oh.
to stay right at the back of the grid, so it looks like that is going to be our grid set. With TJ being 15 seconds down on his pace. He's looking to try to get in towards cruiser territory of a 150. Just can't manage that one. Yeah, that looks like that's qualifying done. Biddle is taking pole position tonight. Maybe a bit controversially after what happened with Silverside Boy on the outlap. But that will probably be one for the stewards to look at. Biddle P1, Noah P2 just couldn't really improve on his first banker of a time. And Gary up in P3 on his 3-year anniversary in the league. So maybe 3 could be the lucky number for him. And maybe, hopefully, bring back a P1 tonight.
Yeah, well, I've got my fingers crossed for him because that was. I mean, I've literally. I was gonna say I feel like Silverstone. You know, he looked really good that qualifying session. I was gonna say, um, you know, I'm gonna root for him to get pole here, but yeah, just very, wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately for Biddle. But yeah, as much as Biddle was a good driver, I believe, you know, he should have been looking better. To be fair, so that's on Biddle.
Well, I think it'd be a good thing you're not a steward, but getting past that one. So that is
No,
qualifying set.
I'm only good at one thing. Oh my word! Oh Christ!
Is this what I think it is? Because I haven't loaded in yet, and I'm hoping it
It's
is.
extremely wet.
Oh,
Oh
we're
my
in
word!
monsoon season, boys. Who's done the fucking rain dance?
Oh Christ!
Ooh.
All right, I'm gonna. Oh God!
So what?
I'm not prepared for
210,
this.
215 mile an hour in heavy rain. Anybody up for it?
Ah, no balls. I
So
can already see 10 million safety cars happening.
yeah, it's maybe a good thing that the game restricts it to five, because Bert Bylander tonight could be having a lot more laps led than a lot of guys probably on this grid, if not everybody. But this is going to be the big one now, setup wise. Yourself, if you were in this situation, obviously these guys knew that the rain was going to come in the race. Would you pump a bit more downforce into the car for the rain, or would you try to just work towards quali and keep it a bit more on the dry side with a bit lower downforce?
I personally, for me, I would oh, excuse me. I would basically because I'd want to get that track position, knowing how wet it is. Obviously, now it's going to make it twice as difficult to overtake around here. Unless obviously someone makes a mistake. So I feel like I'd probably up the front wing by two clicks or something, depending on what my wings would be. I mean, obviously going to be racing on Friday, so fingers crossed it's not like this because that would be absolutely hell. So, but yeah, I think track position around here is just crucial. So now it's just going to be, yeah, there's going to be some overtakes, maybe
Maybe it's
with
then.
contact. Yeah,
Very
turn one's
minimal
probably going to be
contact.
a massacre. Someone's going to miss their braking point.
Yeah, I think turn one's going to be. No, I'm not going to say that. It's yeah. I was going to say a madness, but I won't. Not on stream. But we were talking about it pre-stream about turn one round here in the dry alone, of how messy it can get, and now we've got the wet weather involved. This could be
I know this is
interesting.
just a recipe for disaster. But fingers crossed that they all make it through clean. That's for sure. You know, hopefully not everyone DNFs.
Yeah, you watch we say this, and we'll have 17 drivers go into turn one, and 17 come out of it unscathed.
Oh, I hope that does happen. That'd be incredible. But I'll tell you what, who one person I do want to be right now, and that's Monkey Boy Kurt. Last on the grid, he's just going to be. I mean, he's just going to watch it all unfold. Like, you know, he can just back off, and probably people are just going to go sailing in. Because, I mean, this is where they're for sailing boats.
You could say that again, definitely. And it looks like it's probably actually going to be full wet tires by the looks
Oh,
of
it
it.
looks like 100%.
So another one even to throw in. Do these wets make it the end? Because I ain't got a Scooby-Doo.
I think, I mean, if it's going to be wet the whole race like this conditions, wets will not make it. I think they're still going to have to make a stop. I mean, I think there's 27 laps around this track. So here we go.
As we
Oh
go,
God.
3, 4, and 5 red lights. And it's a long wait, but we do get going very slowly around Monza now for the tier 2s as Biddley does get the start. Ads gets a far better start. We do see some sideways action if we see through the fog. It looks like we're going 3 wide. The Williams is still down the inside. Odds trying to stick it round the outside. Noah's in the middle. 3 wide. It's just a
Oh,
roadblock
there's
for them.
contact
That's a light
behind.
Biddle. And it's just stop, start, stuff. It looks in behind. Gary already down to P7. Anybody, any damage? It looks like everybody's okay for now, for what I can see. But them going 3 wide at the start's already allowed Biddle to get a 1 second advantage on Steele, who's jumped up into P2 as we see Liam going down the inside, which turns to the outside of Dynamo Dan. Does he get that move done through the spray? As Cruiser, he's struggling at the back for traction. Liam hasn't got it moved on, and now he's under pressure from Brett is cool, and I can't see a thing. I think Liam might have got that done. He's right still side by side, actually. 2-3 corners on a row. Brett gets the outside line, and it does look like he'll get the position going into Ascari. So 1 lap basically done, and we've already seen these guys can actually race pretty close wheel to wheel in the wet. And as I say that, Liam decides to make his own track on the exit of Ascari, and he's lost his position to Diamond Douchey. But back up to the front, Biddle had a 1 second advantage, and that 1 second advantage has completely gone. Stayed 3/10 in behind, and adds now near 2 seconds in behind them.
As Yorkie, who decided to gamble and go on the intermediates, has come into the pits already. So maybe Yorkie has decided that was the wrong call from Aston Martin to put him on the inters. It's just not clearing enough water. As Steele for the lead. It's better traction out of turn 1 and clears the McLaren. So the Williams to the lead now from... Now, where does Steele actually qualify? I swear he wasn't even in the top 4.
P5,
yeah,
he
up
qualified,
5,
yeah.
up 4 positions. So he was in 5th place. And he's up to the lead on lap 2. So Steele with... Maybe Steele has gambled his qualifying for the wet setup, possibly.
And it looked like that could be already paying off, as he's already cleared 7/10 on Biddle. As we see him behind though, Adds dips a wheel in the grass. He is okay, but we did see the rear end go sideways. That might put him a bit of pressure under from Noah. But TJ, he's up in P5 already, and it looks like he's got good enough pace in this rain, as we can hardly see anything through the spray. Just cars going single file, it looks like. As I say that, it looks like one of them had ran wide. We see, I think it is a Mercedes. That is Gary trying to pick his way up through the field, going side by side with TJ. Obviously, we've seen some stuff happen last week between these two. It looks like they're going to keep it clean this week. This guy's trying to stick it round the outside. Can he get it to stick? Who will have the best straight line speed? They're going to go side by side all the way down the straight. As I will get the telemetry up. Gary has burnt all of his batteries, so is TJ. They're still side by side. TJ gets the inside line, decides to turn in a little bit late, forces Gary to have to concede that position. TJ, good bit of defending from him. You see them all in behind though, just queuing up, waiting to pounce. And one of them, it looks like, is the Ferrari of Dynamo Dan round the outside of Fish Sticks. Obviously, the Tifosi will be hoping for Dynamo Dan to get a good result tonight, because Cruiser, his teammate, is well down in the field. He can't get that moved on Fish Sticks, so he is still in P10. But crucially, up at the front, it's 1.4 seconds now, the gap between Steele and Biddle, so it definitely looks like Steele has went for that wet weather setup.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks very, very comfortable in the position after going side by side to Lesmo 2, being Bread and Diamond Dushy, as he now gets run off the road there. It was a little bit silly from Bread to try and think about holding it round the outside in the wet. Let alone in the dry, you don't really want to go for that. As he's now down to P14, he drops behind Liam in the kick salver. As we talk about kick salvers, as Noah gonna go for the move on ads. Oh, no, he's not. Never mind. Oh, he's closer. As he locks the rears going into Parabolica. That was scary. I thought he was gonna lose it there. As Radical has passed TJM and Silverside, as he was behind, last time I remember. So maybe these two were battling and parted the Red Sea for the Haas. But yeah, Silverside just trying to recover after falling down at the start, down to P7 at the moment, so he lost 5 places, I think. No, 4 places. He started in P3, so yeah, he's trying to gain some lost ground, but there is from Radical to Noah, there is nearly a 3-second gap already, so it's going to be hard for him to gain that back, as they're all pretty close together up the front.
Crucially, there is no DRS, so we probably won't see as much overtaking down into turn 1, so these guys probably have to get it done through the middle and last sector, as you see them all slide wide on the exit of the first Lesmo. Radical and TJ both losing the rear end. TJ again losing the rear end. That's going to allow Gary to try to stick a nose down the inside. Probably thinks a lot better of it. It's not really going to be a chance to get a move done in a Scary. You would have to be pretty brave to make that one stick. But that gap sits at 2.7 seconds now between Radical and Noah. We will keep an eye on it. If that gap does start to close, then maybe we could see Radical really have a good pace in this wet conditions for now. Back up the front though, it does look like it has closed up a slight bit. And you were going to say something, what was it?
I was just saying that Cruiser and Bright's Call battling back at the tail end of the field. As I noticed that Cruiser has actually got some front wing damage, so that could contribute to the lack of pace in that Ferrari. Obviously the Tifosi will not be too pleased at that, but his teammate Dynamo Dan running P10, so it's still 1 point in it for the Scuderia. Yeah, Cruiser quite struggling as he hops the curb at turn 2. So yeah, Cruiser really struggling at the moment, which is unfortunate to see. Meanwhile, behind in P17, Yorkie, who I dare say has made quite a big mistake starting on those intermediates, because now he's 20.5 seconds behind the field. So he's going to need a safety car, for sure, to gain back up, and also probably get a new set of tyres on as well, because they will not take him to the end. Neither will anyone else's tyres. So
it's kind of just a maybe hope for the safety car at the right time. He needs it probably in the middle of this race to really try to get something back in the middle of to really fight for some sort of points probably towards the end of this one. Going on board, we're talking about Cruiser, one part of the Ferrari gang, the other part is all over the back of the McLaren of fish sticks. He's really getting held up. It looks like he's trying to make a slight little move down the inside of the Parabolica. Couldn't get that one to stick, but he will get a good slipstream off the McLaren. Does decide to use his overtake, so can he get this move done? It's 30% versus 51, so fish sticks does have the battery advantage, but he's not using it. That's going to allow Dynamo Dan to go down the inside. They're going to go side by side. He is there. Fish sticks maybe cut across slightly, but it is okay. He does defend that position very well. But Dushi has actually made use of that one. Looks like Dynamo Dan actually ran wide, and Diamond Dushi has been able to undercut him. And now he's all over the back of fish sticks, going down towards the second chicane. Had a little look down the middle, and then behind we can see Liam get past Mongo as well down the inside. So I tell you, it looks like this wet weather's given a lot of overtaking chances into this second chicane.
I know, yeah. I thought we were not going to see much overtaking, but we're seeing quite a bit actually. So that's obviously good for us. As out front, Steele now 3 seconds ahead of Biddle, who's under attack from ads. As I'd noticed, Silverside's fallen down to 8th now, as Lexus in the V-Carb has got past him and TJM. So Lexus having a good race at there so far. As Dynamo's fallen down. He's down to P13 as he's now 3 wide with Liam and Mongo fighting into the Parabolica. Who's going to take the position for now? It looks like it's going to be Liam. They're still going to be side by side as Liam takes position, but here comes Dynamo Dan in the Ferrari. He's got past the Mercedes. Can he get past the Kick Sauber? Going down to turn 1, yes he does. He uses his battery very nicely there. Gets back up to P11. As Monkey Boy's going to go for the move on Liam into turn 1. That was an audacious dive. Will he make it work? He gets shown off the track by the Kick Sauber as Mongo goes through now. As yeah, we're having a lot of battling. It's good to see in the wet. I was not expecting this.
Yeah, it just looks like that P10 down to P14, P15 area is just creating some great battles. As actually we see a bit of front wing lost. Who's lost that one? I see some sort of debris go flying. So as Fishtick's caught Diamond Dushi, does have
I
his
believe
front
Fishsticks'
wing.
wing is fine. So, might have been car behind. Trying to check. Don't see any signs of damage on Monkey Boy, so...
Might have all been good then. Maybe a slight touch in behind the rear end damage that it loves to show out for some reason. But yeah, 3 seconds now the gap at the front from Steele to Biddle, whose ads is actually closed quite a lot in on Biddle. Down to 6 tenths now. It was at 4. Will not have any DRS obviously because of the rain. Very little battery as well for Ad, so he's trying to push this Haas all the way. Biddle 37%, so he's kind of happy enough at the minute, sitting 3 seconds in behind with Ads. He seems like he'd be able to defend him pretty well. You see this massive train though.
Silverside goes to the move on TJ and Mr. Turn 1. Can he get it done? They leave each other enough room, good respect between the two. DJM gets the better traction out of the second corner and powers ahead of the Mercedes so far. I can imagine Silverside is pretty frustrated at the moment being stuck behind this Williams for the current race long distance. So yeah, it's probably going to be quite frustrating knowing that he maybe had a chance of winning this race with the pace he had in qualifying. But now he's stuck down in 8th with a moving roadblock of a Williams directly ahead of him. As behind Diamond Dushi is actually closing in on them both. So yeah, this could become maybe a 4-way fight for P7 in maybe a lap or so.
As you were speaking, just look down at the chat. On our resident weather reporter, David Lowface, has just said, rain in 10 minutes. He does this every week. Loves to get the expectation up of rain coming. And when the rain does come, he doesn't tell us until it's too late. So
as Ads goes past Biddle into turn 1, gets up into P2. So Biddle from pole down to 3rd, as meanwhile Steele is now nearly 4.5 seconds up the road. So the Williams is absolutely loving these conditions at the moment. Good to see for Steele.
yeah, he's kind of had
Will Biddle try and come back? He will not. Takes better of it into the second chicane.
Yeah, he's kind of had it up and down kind of season so far. He has a race win under his belt a couple of weeks ago, and just really apart from that, it hasn't probably been the best of seasons that he thought it could have been. So it looks like I'm not going to speak too soon. I said 2 wins
so far. Don't jinx him.
We're only a third of the way through this race. I think the comms cars can be left for later on tonight if we need it. Again,
who do you want to use it against?
The top 7.
Deal.
Want yes. But we do look down at this field, as I say, from P7 down to P10. It looks like it's one little group now sitting in behind TJ, and then another group of cars, looks like 4 or 5 cars in behind there from Monkey down to Cruiser. So we're going to have 2 great battles, it looks like, in these 2 separate little groups. Cruiser actually looks a little move on Bread is Cool. Thinks a lot better of it. We do know Cruiser does have the wing damage, so he won't have as much front end than the rest of the cars on the grid. But Liam is looking to try to make a move on Monkey Boy Kurt. He does get a slight little wobble on the straight, but he does get the move done. Gets right in front of Monkey Boy Kurt before they break it so which actually has hampered Monkey Boy. He's locked the rear end and has caught the car. As you do see, TJ has also got a move done on Gary yet again for about the 4th time this race, and round the outside, Dynamo Dan's trying to get on to Diamond Dushi. Can't get that one to stick, so it is again as you were for them poor guys.
Monkey Boy gets back past Liam into the second chicane. Nice move from the Alpine on the Kicks Alba. But yeah, like I said, it's now becoming to a 4-car battle, so these guys have got to be careful. If one mistake from one of them could cause a chain reaction, and there could be dire consequences for these guys. So hopefully these guys will keep it clean been pretty clean race so far. Yeah, I'll give it to the guys putting on a good show so far. Hopefully, they all keep it clean as oh god, Silverside.
The
Well,
run that
Silverside
man.
sideways, going through Scary there. That was chaotic as he's now being passed by Diamond. Diamond Dushy. Oh god, Diamond's going to go for the move into the Parabolica. So Silverside the most down to P10 within a space of about 10 seconds. So
TJ, I'm hoping you meant to go into the pits because he's probably needs a new pair of underwear after what's just happened on the exit of Parabolica. But saying that, we do have a yellow flag. It is Mongo. It looks like he's got back
TJM's going
underway.
to the Inters.
So is
As is
Gary.
Silver. Alright, we've got some gamblers as Mongo gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's not going to help.
To me, it doesn't look like the weather's getting better.
Not at all. It still looks like it's pissing it down, to be honest. So I wouldn't have gone to the intermediates yet, but I mean these guys are obviously on track and feeling the conditions. We're just sitting here in a nice warm commentary box, sipping cups of tea and eating ginger biscuits, so we can't say anything.
Yeah, if you want to call tea a black fucking pint with a white head, yeah, that's my tea. But Radical's still up in P6, so he's still showing this good pace in the rain, still battling away with Lexus. We haven't really given much of these front runners a good run for showing, but saying that now, Noah's right in behind Biddle, so Biddle's starting to fall off the pace. It might
Radical going for the move into Parabolica on Lexus. He gets it done. Nice move from the 5th place Haas driver. Haas having a good showing so far, up in P5 and P2 at the moment. So as Lexus is actually going to come straight back past you with the use of his ERS. Radical only deciding to use it now as they're actually he comes back past Lexus, gets past and repassed and then passes again. So bit of a
day in the life
game's
of
being played there.
Dynamo Dan does respond to the other one's boxing for the Inters. He's decided to come in. Does he get undercut? They are starting to pile the pressure on. Can he stay in front, or is it the right move at the right time for TJ and Silverside boy? It looks like it is, but Gary's around the outside. There's contact.
That was close.
There
was a little bit of a wheel rub between the two of them. I thought that was going to end in tears, but thankfully they made it through unscathed. As Dynamo Dan gets straight past Silverside because of that. I guess it probably compromised him on the exit there. So Dynamo's up into P12. Silverside now down. And another place, I don't really know what positions these guys are going to actually come out when the rest of the field pit. I believe it'll still be probably that P7, 8, 9 positions. Steel goes fast. It's the fastest lap of the race on lap 13. Still finding time on those 12-lap-old full wet tyres. So Steel is freaking flying at the moment.
It looks like this is his race to be won for now through the first 13 laps, nearly halfway there.
Oh, you just jinxed him.
It's fine. He'll survive. No, he won't survive. I know that. But we do see Dynamo Dan's teammate Cruiser. He decides to come into the box, and I was looking at the gap between Dynamo Dan and Cruiser at the time. It has come down a second, so it looks like maybe the Inters are slightly better tyre. No Cruiser.
TJM goes off in the final corner, battling again with Silverside boy. As TJM going for the move again up the inside of turn 1. This battle is endless between the Williams and the Mercedes, as Silverside cannot get past him. I would be absolutely fuming, to be honest, if I was that Mercedes currently as Yorkie, and that we have not talked about at all. Started still on the Inters, had to go to the wets, and now is back on the intermediates. So, yeah, Yorkie probably with the worst strategy I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that's probably those set the train in motion now for everybody to come into the box, and yep, Steele has been the first to come in, so it looks like we probably will get everybody now into the box. Now it's just down to where Dynamo Dan, TJ, and Silverside Boy, have they made up a lot of time on the rest of them? Who they were fighting was Liam and Diamond Douchey. They can come out quite a bit ahead
Will
of
anyone
them.
stay out though?
Doesn't look like it.
Diamond stay. Oh no. Okay. Oh, I
Of
believe Monkey Boy is staying
course.
out.
Of course, Monkey Boy. You've done it last week, and you're thinking it's going to work this week, but it's not going to. So Monkey
Steel actually comes out ahead of him as well. Just the difference in getting gaps. So Monkey Boy does not even take the lead as Dynamo down, so it's the fast lap race of the race to 30.7. So those intermediates are now working quite well for the Ferrari, and everyone else as he actually emerges ahead of Radical. So he's done the undercut on the Haas as TJM gets a lovely move around the outside. Turn 1 there. Caught the Haas a bit sleeping there.
It's probably just the slight
Cold
advantage
tyres.
he's had. Yep. His inters are that bit warmer. Obviously, he's been on them for 3 laps, so he's got used to these conditions in the inters now. Obviously, this track is starting to ramp up in pace, and maybe Monkey Boy is really going to hope for a safety car right now, or dare I say a red flag, to really try to take advantage of where he is. It's not the first time, and it wouldn't be the last if we see a red flag in FPRL. Do look back. It just looks like it's that midfield battle again with Dynamo Dan, TJ, who's actually 2 seconds in behind. So it's now Dynamo Dan and Lexus. So Dan has actually made quite a good undercut on these intermediates. Start fighting against Lexus for this P6. We see just in front actually Biddle and Noah. Biddle stuck in behind. Dan's looking for the move down the inside at Parabolica. Can he get it to stick? Obviously, Lexus carries a bit more speed around the outside. He's been able to fend that one off. And Monkey has decided, I ain't staying out any much longer. I need them intermediates. And sadly for him, it's just a lap too late.
I think that's TJM and Silverside Boy once again side by side down the back straight, or the front straight even. God, yeah, this battle is these two are like glued together, so they just can't get enough of one another. So can we see them? It's a good battle. We've got Biddle on the back of Noah, so this is our highest battle so far. As Ads is, well, Ads and Steel are kind of in a bit of a race of their own now, really. So I guess this is our close battle. As Dan gets past Lexus for P5, so Dan, after getting the undercut on a couple of the other guys, is now up to P5 as he makes a hash of that. Christ.
Biddle has actually got past Noah. So Steel sets past
Steel! Oh my word.
Steel just
Our
doing
previous
Steel
fastest
things.
lap was a 30.6. So Steel smashes out of the water by over 8/10 of a second. Christ. This guy is Max Verstappen and a half.
Yeah, he's a bit of a machine when he wants to be. But Noah and Biddle are going side by side down into turn 1. Biddle slightly outbreaks himself, so he is going to be hampered on the exit. Might allow Noah to get a better exit. Can't get there. So it looks like Biddle's defended that one for now. I'll tell you, the track as it is drying looks like Biddle's actually getting his pace back to what we've seen in qualifying. So maybe he is going for more of a dry setup that, you know, longer we get into this race, dare I say, we could maybe get dries. Hopefully we do, because to be honest, I can't see much more rain. I have to say that.
Yeah,
there's still a good bit, but
yeah, I mean, it does say, well, not doesn't say, it's like, I mean, looking on board of some of these cars, the rain has definitely toned down, but I don't think we're going to see dries in this race. It's going to take a miracle for it to dry out, I think. So I think this race is still going to be on inters for probably the rest of the race. The rain is now gone from monsoon to just light rain for now. So
just your typical...
TJM goes off. Is that going to allow Silverside Boy to get past? Again, So side by side, as Ads now sets the fastest lap of the race, so Ads in that Haas, showing some good pace.
TJ kind of gave Gary, showed him where the white line is, has been able to defend that one. So these two all race have been side by side. Gary probably could have a lot more pace in him if he's able to get past TJ, but TJ is just able to put that Williams where he wants it, blocks off Gary every opportunity. Thankfully for him, he stays P9. Gary still does take a point home at the minute. Behind we see Liam and Fishsticks trying to catch up into this group. So he should be able to do that as long as they don't fight each other. Because this group in front of 4 or 5 cars are all battling each other. They're going to be just hampering all the time in the world. As I said earlier, Biddle, the conditions are getting a little bit better. He's already a second ahead of Noah. And as I say that, he's had a mistake. And it's back down to 6/10. Oh, Biddle, don't change.
Curse. That's what that was.
But it looks like this intermediate period has kind of spread out this field a little bit more than what we had between the 5-car battle and the 4-car battling behind. Now it's kind of a couple of seconds here, a couple of seconds there. And still, TJ and Gary not even separated by 3/10. Gary again gets a better exit out of his Gary. Is it the 20th time lucky for Gary? No. TJ decides I have a bit better straight line speed and I can defend in the Parabolica like I have done for the last 18 laps. But Gary actually gets a great undercut on TJ, so again they're going to go side by side. Does Gary finally get this one to stick? He's got in front of TJ. He's shown TJ the rear end of that Mercedes for now, but does TJ try to get a move done? He's looking, there's contact.
That was a little bit naughty from the Williams.
I think you could tell TJ, he thought about it, he backed out of it. It was just so hesitant, and then he went for it. And I think at that time it was maybe a bit too late. Gary is going to be raging with that one. He finally got past him, and probably just got shown a bit too much of the inside curb. But Noah, as we've seen that battle, has actually got past Biddle now. So Noah's back up into P3, Biddle down to P4. And Gary has got past TJ, unless TJ has allowed that one to happen. It looks like yes, because we do have a 1.1 second gap already. And we'll show maybe our last week's race winner a bit of love as he gets a move done down the inside of Fishsticks. For the precious P12 at the minute, Liam right ahead. And then a couple of seconds gap to the points of TJ. Fishsticks won't let this one go that quickly. He's stuck right in behind on the slipstream. Having a little look down the inside. Just does not want to go for it. So it's as you were as we enter Parabolica. On the exit though, Monkey Boy has decided he wants to go rallying. And he's conceded position to Fishsticks and picked up a 3-second time penalty for the doing. But the straight line speed of this Alpine is an absolute joke of Monkey Boy Kurt. Go 4-wheel rallying and you still get a better exit and still have the top speed. It's amazing. Down. Who else? It's really just now these two battles, really Noah and Biddle. But what are we, 19 laps through?
We say that as behind Ferrari of Dynamo Dan is absolutely flying. He's almost caught up to these guys, so we might say a 3-car battle for P3 at the moment, as Ads is 8 seconds up the road, actually closing the gap slightly to Steele. So Ads, who has not much battery, but yeah, it's slowly closing that gap. I mean, Steele is not using his battery really, it looks like, from our telemetry. So yeah, Ads really pushing that Haas to hopefully try and get back up to the leader, who's been in a class of his own so far. But yeah, Dynamo Dan within a second now of our P3 and P4 mans of Noah and Biddle. Saying that, Biddle goes for the move. Outbreaks himself though. Ooh.
Does it hamper him again this time? You know, he gets away with it this time, but Noah does go for the inside, round the curve of Grande, gets that move to stick. And now it's all up to Dynamo Dan. When does he want to make this move? He's sitting in behind, waiting for one of them to make another mistake like we just seen from Biddle. Now they're just an absolute train. It just shows how much time they did hemorrhage fighting each other. Dan looking for the move down the inside of the first Lesmo. Backs out of it. Thinks a lot better of it in these kind of conditions. But we do see that Dan has so much better pace in these wet conditions. He needs to try to dispose of these two quickly. Because, dare I say, he could maybe try to push for P2. And we already look.
Oh, it's gonna be tough with them only now 7 laps left and adds within 4 seconds now of our leader. So adds, yeah, bringing that gap down, but has he got enough time to catch and pass the Williams, who has just been, like I said a couple of minutes ago, in a class of his own so far as Dynamo. Ooh, looking for the move on Biddle around the outside of Parabolica. That wasn't going to work on McLaren, but with the slipstream now, will he be able to get the move for P4? He goes to the inside and gets it done. As we have a yellow. Who is this?
Brett is cool. He's looks like he's lost up on the outside of the second part of the Ascari, so he is waiting for Mongo to pass before he rejoins. And thankfully, it looks like Bert Mylander's staying in the pits for now.
That looks to be.
TJ picks up P10 from Liam. As Liam actually maybe cuts slightly across Monkey Boy on the braking zone, but no damage done there. And crucially, as soon as Gary's been able to clear TJ, he's gone. 3.5 seconds is that gap, and it just shows how much time Gary's actually lost while being in behind TJ for the first 21 laps of this race.
I know, yeah, it's kind of ruined his race. Silverside, like literally being stuck behind that Williams for that long, it's just hurt his chances of, moving forward. And now he's unfortunately paying the price of that, sitting in P9, in no man's land at the moment. 3 seconds behind Diamond Dushy, and 4 seconds ahead of TJ himself. So yeah, unless the safe start comes out, Silverside a bit in his own race at the moment as Dynamo gets past Biddle going into the final corner. So it's battle to watch so far. It's the 1-4 P4. Noah's got up the road a little bit, 1.1 ahead now. Dynamo decides to use his ERS to try and close the gap down, but Biddle's still right behind him, so Biddle doesn't want to let this go as he goes back through for P4. So yeah, this battle's still not decided yet between between the McLaren and the Ferrari.
And if you were in that kind of position, if you were Biddle, I thought maybe Dan was going to get shown the grass there from Biddle. If you were in Biddle's position, would you fight that, or would you try to kind of use Dan as kind of a slingshot to try to get past Noah? Maybe if he pushes Noah a bit wide, you can try to follow through.
Yeah, I mean, Dynamo's got extremely good pace from what I'm watching, so it looks like he's obviously, I think he's the faster out of the two at the moment. As he's right behind Biddle now. She might go for a move. It's to the outside. Can he get it done? Or they're going to be. Biddle has his nose on the inside, but thinks better of going for a move. But yeah, if I was Biddle, I mean, obviously Biddle has just lost out now. I think I'd want Dynamo to go through and maybe pull me towards Noah, who's a little bit up. Obviously, now sitting P3, 5 tenths ahead of Dynamo, so. And like you said, if something happens between the two, you can just slip through. Because obviously anything can happen in conditions like this. So yeah, as I look up to the front now, I believe Ads must have made a mistake, as the gap of 5.3 seconds, as the gap was down to 3.8 last time I had a look. So yeah, maybe that is the race decided for Steele. So yeah, good drive from Steele so far. Don't want to jinx him, but he's been very, very good so far.
I'll tell you though, as soon as Dan has got past Biddle, he's been all over the rear end of the kick cyber of Noah. And to be fair to Dan, he's actually been using a lot of hot lap compared to what Noah's just been using on the medium. We've somehow been able to save that battery as we see a couple of time penalties now start coming in for Bredis Cool, and Lexus picks up a second one, so that's him on 6 seconds. So he'll be
Oh, as Dynamo gets a
dropping
very
down.
sideways out of Lesmo 1. Well, that was a one-way ticket to the barrier there. Nice save from the Ferrari. Ferrari, the Tifosi are, they're not, they're in a way loving life, but at the same time they're not. As there's one car in P4 and the other one is down in P13. So,
Just a mixed bag like you normally get with Ferrari, it seems. You just
oh,
it's a mixed bag
absolutely.
of sweets. You just don't know what you're going to get. It looks like you get half good, half bad today, maybe, with 5 laps to go.
Usually they're shite.
Usually
Tastes
they're
like
cruiser,
cardboard.
but today Dan's a little bit, just a little bit of sugar on top makes the shit look good.
Absolutely.
Dan's still happy enough to stick in behind Noah for now. Has a little bit of a banter advantage by 10%. As
Ooh, as
goes.
Diamond Dushy and Radical go side by side into turn 1. Oh, they're getting locked together. Oh, that's unfortunate. Bit of a getting stuck together. The side pods clashing between the Haas and the Red Bull. So thankfully they got away without any major repercussions. As I noticed now that Monkey Boy Kurtz actually got past TJM, is now up into a points position, a point position I should say, but he has that penalty looming over him. So at the moment he will drop down, I believe, to gaggle of cars behind as Dan gets past Noah in the kick salver. So Dan finally up to P3. Noah is looking for the move going into Parabol. Oh, he gets a little bit of a bad exit. Does the Ferrari, and that's going to put the kick salver side by side with him going down as they start lap 25. So only 2 laps remaining of this Italian Grand Prix, which has been a very, very good one, I must say. Second race in, and what can I say? Second great race. As what's happened here? Is it fish sticks in the McLaren? I believe it is. Going slowly, must have maybe spun the car, locked the rears possibly on into the entry of Parabolic, or maybe even get hit by someone. I know he was around TJM and Monkey Boy, so maybe a bit of contact between those two. Hopefully not, though. But if it was, I guess it will see the stewards for sure.
Yes, I may have made the biggest commentary mistake ever and not charged the batteries up, so
Oh dear.
you might have a little raid just sign your controller while there was a lot of battling going on. And speaking of battling, Dynamo Dan again makes a move around the outside before Ascari on Noah. So it looks like we're really going to have this 3-way battle all the way for the final 2 laps to decide this final podium position. Dan again still has the battery advantage on Noah as we get up towards Parabolic, and Noah having a little look down the inside, just pulls back in line as the front 2 start their final 2 laps. As the bit of carbon fibre comes off the Ferrari over the curb. Shouldn't be anything to worry about though for Dan. Nice little visual glitch as always in F124. But Noah goes down the inside again of Dan, so it looks like it's one half of the lap it's Noah leads, next half of the lap it's Dan, and Noah takes back the lead for now. I'm sure we'll see Dan get that one back pretty soon. Quickly go down the field towards Radical Diamond. Obviously they had a bit of a battle, but tell you what, this battle, I think we can't go off it now up front. We given enough love to the midfield, but I think now this battle for P3 is all we care about. The front 2 have decided they're going to piss right off in the rain. So it's all down to Dan, Noah and Biddle who gets this final podium position with what, 1.5 laps to go. Who's your money on?
I'd have to say Dan. I don't want to. He's going to go for the move now, going into Ascari. I mean, maybe that's a bit too early. As now Noah, if he sticks behind, is going to have the run down to turn 1. Maybe Dan should have waited and saved his ERS for that. So obviously, knowing that it would be tough for Noah to get back past. There's not many places he can overtake after turn one. As Steele sets the fast lap of the race on the final lap as he started it now. 8.5 seconds ahead of Ads. And Ads 11 seconds in front of our P3 group. As Noah is using his ERS, but will he be close enough? He is going to look for the move. Noah back to P3 as Biddle is still just there in P5 watching this unfold in front of him. There's nothing he can do. Maybe he just doesn't have the pace of the two ahead of him currently. But yeah, who will get this final podium position as Dynamo gets a great run out of turn one. This is going to put him side by side going into the Retrophilia, I believe this turn is called. As Noah defends the inside very well, going to make it very difficult for Dynamo to do anything there other than just sit behind. But Dynamo's overtakes have come out of the second Lesmo and going down onto the straight before Ascari, so keep an eye on him. Can he get this done?
Gets the better exit.
Yeah, Dynamo, oh yeah, here he comes.
Round the outside for the third lap in a row. 3 out of 3. Dan gets this move done before Ascari. And as he gets that move done, we will go to our leader who finally gets round the Parabolica for the 27th and last time and takes a second win of the season. Steele in the Williams by 8 seconds on Ads. So Ads P2, but we will look back on this battle of P3. Looks like Dan will hold it. I'd say that's slightly sideways. Big slide. Big slide. No, down the inside. We go side by side. Dan just holds off for P3 for now. Fiddle gets P5 in the end. Lexus with the time penalties. How far will he drop? Diamond takes P6, Radical P7. Lexus, is that where he's going to stay? It is. So Lexus P8, Gary takes P9. And Monkey Boy, our last week's race winner, takes P10, rounds off the points. But TJ's trying to defend from Cruiser for P11 and just about does. And if you see, Fish Sticks has decided he wants to go on the soft. So he's wanting to go for a slip and slide, it looks like. And this is where he sets the fastest lap.
He's going to lose the actual last 16th place as Bread goes straight past him. Oh, and there's contact between them. Oh, Christ.
That's, yeah. Nice. The worst thing is, Fish Sticks will not be last because of Bread's time penalties.
Oh, boy.
Well, let's say that though, he's sliding absolutely everywhere. Can he make it to the end?
Oh, my God.
Oh, I thought he was. Okay. That equaled it out. So now Fish will be last. What a race. What a hectic end of the race. Just from Fish Sticks alone in that McLaren.
I know, that was an interesting way to end it.
Well,
driver of the day is Dynamo Dan. I have to agree. I mean, he had fantastic pace, so yeah, good for Dan. And obviously Ferrari. He started P15. Jesus.
Yeah, it's some drive in the rain, to say the least. I think he's definitely set that car up for the wet weather, but we do look through the standings here very quickly. Steele P1, Ads P2, and Dynamo Dan P3 will round off our podium. Go quickly through the race director if anybody wants to get anything. Thankfully, it's an actual short one, so
yeah,
we can actually get through
for a fully wet race around Monza. I mean, everyone was extremely clean, so I do have to say respect to all our drivers keeping it clean tonight. It was fantastic to watch. So
just wait, it looks like 4 Ads to join for the post-race interviews. Steele does take the fastest lap as well for the extra point. Starting P5, comfortable drive P1, to say the least. Just a nice Sunday leisurely drive. It's a little premature celebration from him, and that's probably not the first time he's done anything premature. Is Ads going to join, or are we just going to run with 2 point? Looks like he actually is going to join now. So, if you want to take P3 and P1, and then I'll take ads in P2 for the interviews then, Ollie.
Yeah, no worries. Okie dokie. Have we got everyone in now then? Yes, we do, I believe. Okie dokie. We'll start with our P3 man and my personal driver of the day, Damo Dan.
Thank you.
Congratulations, sir. That was a phenomenal drive from P15 to P3 in the wet. I mean, talk us through that race. I mean, I was watching you. You were on a mission. You know, coming, just slicing through cars like they were nothing. So, yeah, talk us through that.
Yeah, usually my house in the wet isn't that good, usually. So, Bali wasn't great because of a potential block that screwed my last lap over. But, yeah, from the start, just kept it clean, picked my way through, and then timed it right at the safe, pit stop, sorry. And then, yeah, I had a great battle with Noah towards the last lap. So, kudos to him for keeping it going.
I know, yeah, you and Noah were going back and forth those last few laps. It's great to watch. You know, you'd get ahead of him and then he passed you and then you come back again.
Yep.
So, yeah, great battle.
So,
yeah, congratulations on your P3. So, yeah, well done,
thank
buddy.
you.
Yeah, congratulations, Dan, on the P3. It's good to see you back on the podium. I know it's
Yeah,
been a bit of a while
It's
for
about
you.
time.
It's good to see you back, buddy, as always.
Thank you,
So
Coxer.
congratulations on that one. So on to our P2 man in the Haas of ads. You're kind of making a thing of this podiums near enough every week. This one, is this the one that got away, or is this the one you're kind of happy enough with P2 showing the pace that Steele had?
Yeah, no, I muffed up my qualifying, so I think I could have got second if I finished my lap. The start was obviously a bit tetchy. I think it was like 3 or 4 cars wide going into turn one, so I got stuck on the inside curb and still went round the outside and got into second. And I knew from then it would be quite hard because I had to overtake Noah, and then I had to get past Biddle. But yeah, it was. I'm glad because the setup I went for was my dry setup. I didn't have a wet setup on, so I just whacked the front wing up a couple of clicks. So it wasn't too bad in the end.
Yeah, we've seen that battle in the middle. I think you were the middle one in 3 wide in turn 1. It was absolutely madness, but you did come out on top of that one. Obviously, it was pretty quiet for you once we did make the switch onto the inters. There wasn't much for you to do. The gap to Steele kind of fluttered around about 5-6 seconds. Then it came down to 3.7, I think was the lowest I seen. Were you really trying to try to close that gap, or do you think it was just Steele maybe making a few mistakes, a bit of complacency coming in?
I think I was slowly bringing it down. I was trying to go for it in the early stages, but then when it started drying up because of the setup I was using, my rear end was having to slidey through Scary and second corner and the chicane part. So I kind of backed off in the end. I noticed that I probably wouldn't have got past Steele right at the end. So I kind of settled myself for a second and slinging it into the gravel and the wall, which nearly did fucking happen.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times tonight with a few other drivers. Just the rear end goes everywhere. But congratulations on the P2, buddy. Next week is the land of the weed, Netherlands. How do you feel with Netherlands? Is it a track you hate Zandvoort, or?
I hate it as a track, but I've always done quite well there. It was just quite weird, but everyone's going to be on similar setups, and it's very, very hard to pass there, so qualifying is going to be quite key. And again, the weather is determined, well, weather-wise. Rain around there is terrible, so as long as I keep chipping away, yeah, I'm in a good position now with 3 races left, I think.
Yeah, 4 races yeah, 3 races, sorry, to go. Still championship lead. Obviously, Steels took a little bit out of you tonight, but
I
still, I
think
think it's a good bit
20,
ahead.
24 points now, I think.
This shows it's all in your head already. You've
I know.
started working it out after the results.
I was
so-
working it out on lap 20.
Yeah, it was that
Because
bold, were you?
I was going for the fastest lap. I was like, maybe should I get that extra point? Should I? And I was like, no, fuck, no, I can't be bothered. I was like, yeah, I'm the 24, I think now.
Well, congratulations on the P2 and obviously staying P1 in the championship for now with 3 races
Thank
to go
you.
then, buddy.
Thank you, thank you.
And over to you then, Ollie, for our race winner then in the Williams Steel.
Alright then, yeah. To our winner, fucking hell. I've never seen that much of a dominant drive in the wet. Oh my word. Fantastic job
Vegas,
from
man.
you.
Full traction.
Fuck off.
As yeah, hearing some opinions.
Sorry for the language.
That's a cessfire.
Alright,
Sorry, go on.
fucking up.
That's
Yeah, our winner, Steele. Just talk us through that race. I mean, literally, you took the lead pretty early on from P5. I am curious. Did you have a wet setup on?
yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say because you are I was just thinking that pace is just ridiculous compared to everyone else. So I was just thinking it's probably a wet setup. But yeah, how was it for you? I mean, you look like you were just in cruise control, pretty much. You know.
Yeah, I can't lie. The only time I play this game is when I'm league racing or I'm doing some like fucking wet GP mode because I enjoy the wet in this game a lot, and I don't really play this game a lot anymore. So it's like the only thing I like doing. So I'm quite quick in it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you literally just blew everyone out of the water there by, I believe you won by nearly 8 seconds. So yeah, that was a
I think it's like
very,
three.
very good drive. Oh, close
Don't
enough.
forget this. Don't forget it's 0.3.
Don't forget the point 3, mate.
Fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
it wasn't a bad race. It's
Yeah,
alright. Bit boring.
congratulations though. That was a very, very good drive.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, Steele, on yet another win. And another podium, you fucking sweaty bastard. But that finishes the interviews for tonight. Obviously, we've quickly already heard that Daniel Modan has been given Driver of the Day by CoCom's Ollie. So congratulations, Dan, on the Driver of the Day. P15 to P3,
shit.
battling everybody and getting through to feel like it was nothing. That's how.
Oh, it's flat. I'll give you that.
I would say so. So congratulations on your Driver of the Day. So
Thank you.
as we about to sign off, just a quick reminder, Friday night 8 p.m. you can tune in again with, it looks like it's Gary at the minute. We might have someone else helping him on Friday night, where the tier ones will take you around for the final time this week. And yeah, me and Ollie will be there hopefully, and hopefully one of us will be on the podium.
Doubt.
Maybe I'll be in a wall, I think, actually. But yeah, from myself, CrossGrey1888, and Ollie in the comms box, again, it has been an absolute pleasure having you again this week, and thank you for helping out.
Yeah, no worries, buddy.
Don't forget HPL 77.
Fuck's
But
sake.
anyway, from all of us at FPRL, have a good night, and we will see
And on
you
that
very
one,
soon.
Shell.
Peace.
Good night.